All right, so we've been talking about these while loops, and they allow us to continuously execute some code while the condition is true. Okay, so it's going to keep checking to see, is this condition true? If it is, I'm going to keep running some code. We also have something called a do while loop, which is very similar. So let me start off with a while loop, just so we can get reacquainted with that. So let number be equal to 0. This is just a counter. You can call it counter, you can call it I, you can call it number, whatever you want. Okay. And I'm going to go while, and then this is my condition here. So let's just say, as long as the number is less than 5, I want to do some stuff. So inside the code block here, let's just console.log the number. Okay. So in this particular case, right now number is 0, right? So we come in here, is 0 less than 5? Yes. So this is going to run. And right now it's just running 0. Okay. It's going to log that to the console forever and ever and ever. Okay. So this is an infinite loop at this point because I haven't told JavaScript this is how you're going to break out of this guy. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is just increase number by 1. So I'm going to go number plus plus. Okay. And basically once it comes through here, now it's going to increment by 1 each time. So it'll start off as 0, then it'll be 1, then 2, then 3, then 4. Then when it gets to 5, it's going to say, is 5 less than 5? No. Okay. So it's going to stop executing. So we're going to get 0 through 4 in the console. So let's pop that open. Run this guy, and we get 0 through 4. Okay, as expected. Now, the main thing with a while loop that you need to understand is that in some cases it won't run, right? So if I put this to something like 7, well, it's going to check this guy and say, okay, well, 7 is not less than 5, so I'm not going to execute anything, right? So if I pop this open and clear this out and run this, I don't get anything, right? Nothing happens. Now, we can change this up a little bit and get it to run at least once by using something called a do while loop, okay? So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take this part right here, this while part, I'm going to cut it away, I'm going to put it here after my code block, okay? And then what I want to do up here is just type the keyword do, okay? That's it. You don't have to make any other changes. And now what's going to happen is before it checks the condition, it's going to do this, right? So it's going to do console.log number, which in this case is 7. Then it's going to increase number by 1. So number is really going to change to 8. But that doesn't really matter because when it checks this, this will be 8 and 8 is not less than 5. And because this ends up being false right here, it's not going to run anymore. So if I pop this open and clear this and I run this, I just get 7, right? Because it does it once and then it checks. In this case, it's 8. 8 is not less than 5, so it doesn't run again. If I change this to something like 0, we're going to get the exact same result that we saw with the straight up while loop. So if I pull this back open and clear this and I run this, I go back to 0 through 4. Okay, so very easy to understand. In some cases, you're going to want to run something at least once. And then after you've run it once, you want to make a check. Hey, is this true? Is this false? Might want to run it again if it's true and not run it again if it's false. Okay, I want to show you one other simple thing, and then I'll show you a few different examples with this do while loop. So I want to make sure you understand that if I was to change this, let's say that I was to put this up here, this would affect your result, okay? Let's think about why for a second. We start off with the number being 0, okay? Then we increment the number. So right now the number is 1, and we console.log this, so this is 1, right? So the first guy is going to be 1, not 0. So then it checks, it says, hey, is 1 less than 5? Well, in this case, no, right? So this is true, so it runs again. You're going to keep getting this. So you'll get 1, then 2, then 3, then 4. Now, what happens is when you get to 4 here, okay, when this is 4, 4 is less than 5. That's true, so it's going to run again. When it comes through here, you'll increase that by 1. So when you console.log the number here, it's going to be 5. So instead of getting 0 through 4, because of where I placed this number plus plus, now you're going to get 1 through 5. So if I pop this back open and clear this and run this, we get 1 through 5. And this works the same way if I was to change this back to a straight up while loop. So let's go ahead and cut this away and paste this back in here, okay, like this. I'll get rid of this semicolon and pop this open and clear this and run this, and you still get 1 through 5, okay? So it's very important to understand where you put this is going to change or modify what's being printed to the console here. Okay, so let's just set up 2 very simple examples for the do while loop. So this one's going to be pretty easy to do. I'm just going to do the first few prime numbers. So I'll go const prime numbers, and I'm going to set this up in an array. Okay, so a prime number is a number that's only divisible by itself or 1. Okay, so the only even prime number is 2, and then you have 3, you have 5, you have 7, you have 11, 13, 17, 19, 23, and 29. And I'm going to stop there. There's an infinite number of prime numbers, but I'm going to stop there. So I'm going to just say, I'm going to let I equal 0. Again, I talked about the fact that I is used as a counter all the time. You'll see I or you'll see J. And then I'm going to set up a do while loop. So I'm going to go do. I'm going to go console.log. And I just want to make a little message here. So I'm going to go prime number, okay, and then number, and then $ curly braces. I want to get the number. So in this particular case, if I'm thinking about this, the index is 0, okay, and I'm starting out at 0 here. So what I want really to say, it's the first prime number, so I want to add 1 to that, right? Because this would be the first one, the second one, the third one, you know, so on and so forth. So I want to take this value of I, and I want to increase by 1, okay? So this is going to basically say prime number, in this case 1, and I'll just say is, maybe put like a colon here, $ curly braces, and then prime numbers, okay? And then I'm going to put I. Okay, so let's stop for a minute in case you're confused to think about what this is going to do. All it's really going to do is go through each guy in this array, okay, and say prime number 1 is, in this case, 2. Then prime number 2 is, in this case, 3. Then prime number 3 is, in this case, 5. Okay, so on and so forth. So it gets this because this guy right here, it starts out at 0, okay? And then it's going to say 0 plus 1 is 1, so that's the first guy. And then this guy right here needs to actually be 0 because, again, this is 0 indexed. So the index here is 0, then 1, then 2, so on and so forth. Now, I don't want to keep doing this forever with I being 0, so I just want to go I plus plus here. Okay, I want to increment it by 1 each time so that I can go from 0 to 1 to 2 to 3 to 4, you know, so on and so forth. Then I want to do this while. Okay, you're going to see this a lot. If you're working with an array, remember you have that length property. So I'm going to say I is less than, I'm going to say prime numbers dot length. Okay, and the reason we do prime numbers dot length, remember this is counted, it's not 0 indexed. So it's starting with 1. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right, so this would give me 10, and it's going to stop basically when I is 9, right? So it's going to go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Remember, this is 0 index, so you've got to keep that straight in your mind. I know when you first start counting arrays and going through them, it's a bit tough to remember because you don't often remember that we're starting from 0. So let's pop this open, clear this, and let's run this real quick. And we get exactly what we were expecting. So we see prime number 1 is 2, prime number 2 is 3, prime number 3 is 5, you know, so on and so forth until we get to prime number 10 is 29. Okay, so let's do another little example. That was a simple one. And for this one, basically what we're going to do, we're going to play a little dice game, okay? So this is pretty common, and basically I'm going to roll a dice, and if the dice is a 6, I'll say you win the game. Otherwise, I'll say you lose, okay? So I'm going to need 2 variables here. I'm going to start with let. I'm going to say my dice roll. Okay, so for right now, this is just going to be undefined. And then I'm going to do times played, and I'm going to set this equal to 0 initially. Okay, now I'm going to set up a little function here, which might be a little confusing. I'm not going to explain this here. We're going to talk about this a little bit later on. This function is basically going to get you a random integer that's between 2 values, okay? And those 2 values will be inclusive. So in other words, if I put in 2 and 5, I could get 2, 3, 4, or 5 as a result, okay? So I'm going to go function. I'm going to say get random, let's just say integer, okay? And you want the min and the max. I'm going to drop this in the description. I'll also give you a link of where you can find this code on MDN. So I'm just going to return. We're going to go math with a capital M.floor, okay? And then inside of here is going to be a little bit long. We're going to go Math.random, okay? And then we're going to multiply this by, inside of parentheses, the max minus the min plus 1, okay? And then plus the min out here. Again, I will explain this later on. I think for right now, it's a little bit too deep for us, okay? There's a lot of things going on. Okay, so now what I want to do is set up a little function. So I'm going to go function, and I'm going to say winner, and I'm going to pass in the dice roll, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm first going to say the times played plus equals 1. So in other words, it starts out at 0 here. The first time I roll the dice and I call this function, what I want to do is say, okay, I've played 1 time now, okay? And then I'm going to set up a little string. So I'm going to go const, and I'm going to go my string, and this is going to be equal to, I'm just going to notate the amount of times you played. So I'm going to say you have played a total of $ curly braces times played, okay? And then after this, I would want to say times, but really if it was 1 time, you'd want to take the S off. So we can really fix this here. We can put inside of the curly braces here, I can basically ask if the times played triple equals to 1. If it does, then I'm just going to put time. If it doesn't, then I'm going to put times. Okay, so let me make sure I put that inside of quotes, otherwise it's not going to work. Okay, so that part's done. And then what we want to do here is return a little string. So I'm going to check to see if the dice roll that we passed in, does that equal to 6? Because that means we won. Okay, so if we did, then I want to put in here you win, okay, with a little exclamation point. And let's do a little trophy emoji. And then also I'll put the my string here. And I didn't mean to do my dice roll. So my string, okay. So right now, if it was 6, then we would get you win, and then we would say you have played a total of, in this case, if I just rolled once, 1 time, okay? Then out here, I'll just change this up a little bit. This means it wasn't a 6, so I lost. So I'll put you lost, and let's do like a frowning face emoji. Let's look for one of those. I guess we can do this one. That'll work. And then I'll also put the my string guy in here, okay? So let's pause for a minute and just think about what's going to happen. If I call this function, it's going to tell me, again, the amount of times I've played. Right now it starts out at 0, okay? But the first time I call the function, it's going to go to 1. So it'll say you have played a total of 1 time, okay? But that's going to be added on here after we decide if you've won or not. So if you roll a 6, basically you get a string that says you win, and then the amount of times you've played. If you didn't roll a 6, it'll say you lost, and again, the amount of times you played. All right, so we're going to set this up in a little do while loop. The reason I'm doing this is I'm just showing you that we're going to go through this as many times as it takes for you to win the game. So we're going to go do, okay, we want to do it at least once. If you did this with just a while loop, the problem is the way we're going to set this up, you might win initially. You might initially roll a 6, okay, and it's never going to actually call the function like I want it to do, okay. So for this particular case, I'm going to go my dice roll. And I'm going to set this equal to, remember we have our function up here, which is getRandomInteger. So I'm going to go from 1 to 6. Okay, so I'm going to call getRandomInteger. So getRandomInteger with 1 and 6 in here. Okay, so that's going to hold a value between 1 and 6, with 1 and 6 inclusive. And then I'm going to console.log. I'm going to call this function here. So in this case, it's winner, and I'm going to pass in the my dice roll. So I'm going to call winner, and I'm going to pass in the my dice roll. Okay. So in this particular case, again, it's going to do it at least once. So it's going to get the value from my dice roll from this function. Again, it'll be a value from 1 to 6, including 1 and 6. And then it's going to call this function winner. It's going to pass in the value from my dice roll. So again, if you rolled a 6, you're going to get you win, followed by, in this particular case, you played a total of 1 time. If you lost, it'll say you lost, right? You didn't roll a 6. So basically, you lost, and then you have played a total of, again, 1 time. All right, so down here for the while, what I want to do is say my dice roll, okay, is not equal to 6. So again, you think about the fact that if you just had a while loop and you said my dice roll is not equal to 6, well, what if it was? Well, if it was 6, you would never get to call this. And I know what you're going to say. You can just put it outside of that. And of course you can. I'm just showing you a use for this do while loop, okay? So let's go ahead and pop this open and clear this and run this guy. And so we ended up playing 5 times before we won. And this is going to be different for everybody, right? So it might be different for you. You might have gotten 5 times exactly, or you might have gotten 10 times, whatever it is. And let me come back up here and let me put on this particular case, I'm going to put a period here, okay? So I'm going to clean this up and clear this and run this. And you see now you get 2 times. Clear this and run this, and you get 2 times again. Clear this and run this. Now you get 5 times again. Clear this and run this. 3 times. Let's just do it a few more times. So now we got 8 times. And again, every time you do this, it's going to be different, because what's happening here is you're calling this function here and you're getting a random integer. So it's between 1 and 6. So it might take a while for you to actually run a 6. And for this guy right here, when it becomes 6, 6 is equal to 6. So that will stop this guy from running. And so it'll stop calling the function, right? Because you've won.